Hi everyone, Jan signing in. Welcome to another episode of the Beginner's Bench series. I'm quite busy these days with the spring work and got to do a lot of repotting, but I wanted to make a little video about digging and potting the field grown material. This Scots pine has been growing in this spot for 2 seasons, and if my memory serves me right, it was dug out twice in the past. Thanks to this, the root ball is already quite compact and dense. You will not find easy similar root density if you dig out the tree for the first time. In this case, it was almost ideal root ball. So I entered with the spade at a reasonable distance from the trunk. I went all around. You often find a prominent taproot while digging the pine from the field for the first time. I started removing the excessive field soil and the weeds on the perimeter in order to make the root ball of a reasonable weight and size. It was a great spring morning after the rain with no wind. The moisture was in the air, ideal for repotting. I also gently removed the excess soil from the bottom before I went to the workbench. On the bench I started removing the rest of the weeds and exposed the base of the pine, gently with no aggressive tearing of the roots. Try to always maintain the integrity of the root ball as much as possible. If it falls apart, it is not the end of the world, but it is always better to keep it together. In this case, I had a nice compact and solid root ball, but as I said, this is not the first root work by far. The gradual compacting of the root ball is the key to future success. A compact root system allows us to plant the pine into the proportional pot. Once the surface was clean and loose, I started to removing all the problematic roots. We don't want to see crossing roots or roots that grow in weird directions. But sometimes the weird roots are all that we have. In this case, let it be and make the minimal safe pruning. After a couple of years, a stronger root system allows you to improve it further. Then I shortened up the thicker radial roots. These vigorous and pumped pines straight out of the field have enough power to produce new roots at these cuts easily. After that I started to work on the bottom of the root ball. I removed a little bit more of the field soil with the hook and pruned all the long thick structural roots to get a flat bottom. I tested this ceramic pot, but it would be too much pushing and further root reduction. I didn't have a good feeling about that. The root ball size and pots also reduce the overall energy of the tree, and we still want to build up on this pine. It is unstyled fresh material. The summer watering of the pine in such a small pot would be a disaster also. So I picked up this plastic training pot. It is deeper and wider. The roots will need just a minor trim in order to fit into the container. Here we go. It is in the pot. I have a space all around. The minimum space should be about 2 fingers between the wall of the pot and the root ball. I measured the anchor wires. I made sure there was a nice snag fit and the wires didn't make a loop at the bottom. I use a mixture of pumice, fine basalt gravel and universal garden soil mixture from the garden store, roughly in 5 to 3 to 2 ratio. I have good results with this mixture and I use it as a transitional mixture for all my field grown trees. This mixture fits my watering habits and it is reusable. I just sieve it to remove the excess of the organic component. I almost filled up the pot with the soil and placed the pine into the pot while making sure there was full contact between the roots and the soil on the bottom. Then I lightly anchor the tree. I always make sure the wires are not squeezing the roots all together or putting too much pressure on some roots. Sometimes I protect the surface roots with a plastic mesh, as you can see in this case. Then I pull and twist the wires. At this point the tree should be nicely tightened to the pot. Adding the soil and chopsticking only adds to the firm stability of the tree in the pot. I made one quick round with the chopsticks and then I added more soil and chopstick it out. I added a last pull and turn to my anchor wires and cut the remaining piece. And that's it. We have a new tree for our bench. It is a simple pine, but after the styling, it can be quite an elegant tree. But anyway, I will let it recover with the rest of the freshly repotted trees. You never know, but I do not expect any recovery issues. The tree should continue to elongate the candles and produce new growth during the coming month. We are in the middle of April and the weather is quite stable here so far. No frost, not even during the night, and the day temperature is about 15 to 20 degrees of Celsius. This is all for this episode. I hope it will be helpful for you guys. Thanks for watching and bye for now. Jan is signing off.